So welcome back, guys, to another video, and this is going to be episode 2 of the Xsgaming podcast group talk. And if you guys are late to the game, pretty much what this segment is dedicated to the Facebook group page on Facebook. And it's, the Xsgaming podcast group page is more than just a page that I share my YouTube videos and audio podcasts with James Gruesome, but it's a medium for other content creators to share your videos or share your blog, share your podcast. Is highly encouraged because I think as a podcaster, I think it's very important that I know about the upcoming talent or entertainment out there because, that's how I get special guests and help spread the word, It's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of deal, So I asked the question to the Facebook group page. I asked you guys, how has gaming changed, then and now? Because, as much as we love video games and as much as the hobby may never change for us, our habits may have, maybe our taste towards genres have. It's very interesting. So I'm going to read some of the answers I got from the group, and then I'm going to throw in some of my opinions in it as well. Now, the first one I got was from Aaron Reviewer, who says, I am more open to genres and trying out games I did not like before. 10 years ago, you wouldn't get me to play a JRPG, and now I will play one to give it a try. 5 years ago, I'd tell you to stick Devil May Cry up your ass. Now I don't mind the game, though the reboot still eats ass, though. That's pretty good. Amanda Mario says, my tastes have somewhat changed, and this is due to the quality of games today going down and getting worse. Too many nickel and dime schemes by publishers, developers have killed the way I used to feel about games. I now only play games when I'm in the mood for it, even if there's nothing to do that day. I still might not play unless I'm in the mood, unlike how I used to be when I couldn't wait to play my next game. Terrible game community and toxicness, along with the developers and publishers' shady practices and lowered quality standards of today's gaming environment, has killed a lot of the love I used to have for gaming in general. That's really, really deep, and I'll definitely talk about that as well. Michael Burhan says, hasn't changed much as my situation has changed a little. I have to game during a limited time. I do not have the luxury I used to. Chris says, well, I'm always willing to try out any game, even if it's something that may not fully interest me, where before I only played what I was familiar with. But I still enjoy games today just as much as I did back then. Just now I'm more about games than I did before. Nice. Tyler Good says, I still play games, but I don't buy a lot like I used to back when I was a kid or teen, because nowadays I buy a lot of DVDs or Blu-rays or animes, movies and cartoon shows like Ren and Stimpy. I like Ren and Stimpy. I only get games when the price drops, except for me getting a Madden game every year. Please don't kill me, guys. Or if there's a game that I really want, I'll pay the $60 price tag. James says, my taste. His taste has. He's more open to trying different genres than when I was younger. Unfortunately, that means you end up spending a lot more money on games. Also find I go back to older games a lot more now and always play my favorites every so many months. Some good answers. Jim Kitcherukin, he says, I find that even when I do buy a game for modern consoles, it's still usually a fighter or 2D shooter. I don't feel the need to come off of my favorite genres as if they become less and less prevalent. That's true. Shooters and fighters aren't as popular as they were back in the 90s. Rick Master says, yeah, totally. I usually just play games from Japan since they actually know they are games, since the West is more concerned with immersion or story instead of actual gameplay. And of course, Tyler says, money means something now. And yeah, that's some great answers. Of course, money is the biggest part. I mean, we have more expendable income now, but even now I have to kind of limit myself, because you got bills and food and stuff like that to take care of. And I agree with Amanda. The internet has really changed the way gaming is now. We're a little bit more knowing of what's going on in the gaming market, and you read about shady businesses and, some of the stuff I've talked about in the past with Kickstarters, and I won't get into all of that, but it has turned me off to certain games. Sometimes I do have to put up tunnel vision and just be like, I just want to play a video game. I don't want to know what got into the controversy or anything like that. I just want to enjoy the game, and sometimes you have to do that, or otherwise it makes you a very, very fickle person. And I'm not a saint by all means. Everybody's done it. I need to work on it more, honestly. And of course, like Burhan says, it's more of a luxury now. Working a full-time job, I don't have time to play games as much as I used to. And weirdly enough, having a YouTube channel and podcast, sometimes you would think, putting out videos every week, that's all I do when I'm not making videos is work and play video games, when honestly, there's sometimes I have to just say I need a break and I need to play some video games. Because sometimes I'll spend so much time researching or making videos about video games, I'll find myself not gaming. And I'll have a big stack of games. I'm like, man, I need to start doing this. And that's one of the main reasons why I started doing a lot more Let's Plays, because that gives me a chance to get my game on and also put out content. So that's one of the reasons why I've started doing streaming and doing a little bit more Let's Plays. And like Aaron said, genres, over time you do kind of change a little bit. When I was a lot younger, I played a lot more RPGs, and while I still love RPGs, I don't have the time for some of them anymore. It's funny, when I was younger, 100-hour, 180-hour video game was nothing. That was like a weekend for me. I had so much fun. But now as I've gotten older, I've enjoyed, I don't want to say easier games, but not as difficult games and not games that are as long. A game that I can beat in about 8 hours, to me, is a good time now. And it's really weird. It's not like I've turned into a casual gamer. It's just, I just don't have it's not the patience. It's hard to explain. It's just I don't have the time, and it's very unfortunate because, there's a lot of RPGs that I still want to play, and, sometimes I'll just bite the bullet and sit back and play them, definitely. And, Tyler Good said it best, he doesn't buy games as much as he used to because he started focusing more towards, movies and DVDs and stuff like that. I've almost had an opposite effect. As I've gotten more into collecting, I've found myself just collecting games. I don't buy as many movies as I used to, or buy as many CDs, and I would love to have like a vinyl collection. I just don't have the room for it. So as much as I like physical media, I had to choose the less of two evils when it came to collecting. I'm like, I'm going to get games now, so that's going to be my physical media, and everything else, sadly, is going to be digital. But it's still convenient, and I still get to enjoy it. But yeah, that was a very good topic of discussion, definitely. And if you guys have some comments you'd like to leave, be sure to leave them below. I'd love to discuss it with you guys. And if you haven't joined the Xsgaming Podcast group page, wait to the end of this video. It gives you a link, and also check it out in the description below. I'll leave a link down there as well. So if you have a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, or any sort of medium like that, be sure to join our community and share some of your content. You might meet some new people, and I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming. Can't get enough of Xsgaming Podcast? Be sure to check out the audio podcast on podomatic.com, or you can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Also, if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check out the Xsgaming Podcast Facebook group page and join our community. All the links are below, and as always, guys, thank you so much for all your support.